All right, so good afternoon, and thank you for joining the June 2020 webinar from InHand Networks. My name is Sam Watts. I'm a Vice President of Business Development at the company, and I'll be taking you through just a few product areas today, including our new InMetrix body temperature reading solution, which is pretty exciting, and we're getting a lot of interest on. We're taking questions through Q&A in the Zoom interface, so feel free to do that, and I'll try to answer those at the end of the call. So what's the agenda today? I want to do an introduction to InHand Networks since we're still somewhat newer to the domestic market. I want to go over the InMetrix temperature reading kiosk product, review the industrial cellular networking hardware, and then provide some information around our distribution line sensors. Again, my name is Sam Watts. Here's my contact information. Reach out anytime, sam.watts@inhandnetworks.com. I've been in the utility grid and the smart grid IoT area for about 16 years, both on the consulting side at IBM and then with some level large distributor houses leading a smart grid division. Then spent some time in lighting, and recently, about 15 months ago, started here at InHand, focusing on the energy and utility market, but also handling other verticals. So InHand Networks is not a new company. We've been in the Internet of Things or IoT space for over 19 years. Founded as a machine-to-machine startup in 2001 by 4 co-founders. I work for one of the co-founders here, Ming Lee, who's our US CEO. We have a lot of large customers and have experienced rapid growth, particularly recently. Several customers, marquee customers such as GE Healthcare, Siemens, ABB, RWE, and Schneider. We are heavily partnered in the industrial controls area with Schneider Electric as well as Rockwell Automation. And this year completed a new factory that we opened just a few months ago. That brings us to 4 factories. We are a publicly traded company, so you can find all of our financials and public information online. It's a global company. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, in my home office, considering the unfortunate situation today across the world. If there's any background noise, of course, on a day like this, someone's cutting down a tree. My neighbor here beside my house, so there's a lot of noise, and there's not much I can do about that, but hopefully you can hear me okay. Our US office is in the Washington, D.C. area in Northern Virginia. We have a German office, as well as an office in Asia. We have about close to 400 to 500 employees, with a lot of those employees, about over 100 in research and development. Our total sales were over $40 million in 2019, and our product volume of production is approaching 400,000 units worldwide. We are trusted by many partners and customers across a lot of different sectors, including the grid, commercial and industrial, and automation. You can see some of the names here, and I'm not going to spend too much time on that today. Everything we produce and manufacture is of high quality, with all the appropriate ISO certifications and everything you'd expect that comes along from a long-standing technology provider. Everything we offer is a 3-year warranty. We do offer free technical support on a rotating basis of 16 hours per day and 5 days per week. That support is for domestic markets is located out of our DC office. So there is someone always to speak to. And of course, I'm always available as well. To go through some of the solutions, there's several different layers of solutions that InHand Networks is involved with. One would be our IoT hardware. This is going to be industrial ruggedized devices, routers, gateways, modems, a new vehicle gateway product that can create wireless hotspots securely in a vehicle at a Cat6, very high-speed cellular connection. We also produce industrial switches and computers. We do a lot with the cloud, as well as on-premise software, but a lot of our products are on the cloud, both with our InConnect product, which provides an easy way to have secure connections between all of our devices, as well as a device manager product that allows you to remotely configure, manage, and monitor all of your InHand devices. We do, in the last few years, we've come up with a lot of vertical solutions, sector-specific solutions, including ones in the smart grid, the ATM market, and smart vending. I'll be mentioning some of the smart grid technology here later on in the call. So to introduce the InMetrix product, which is a new product from us, launched about 3 weeks ago, to help provide a safe environment for return to work initiatives, commercial activities as the United States begins to open back up for business. This is a standalone temperature reading kiosk, and I'll go into some of the features here and why it is something you want to pay attention to in what is becoming quickly a crowded marketplace. So how can it help? This device will accurately detect temperature thresholds of people that pass in front of it that ensures a minimal interruption of normal activities, a safer environment, a safer workplace. It is very fast, and I'll show some videos here in a moment that just kind of go into how fast and how accurate it is. It does have a walk-by mode where people can literally just kind of walk by the device. They don't have to line up with anything or do anything in particular, and it's going to locate where their head is and take their temperature in the precise spot on their forehead. That temperature reading is done in less than 1 second, so it's able to handle large volumes of traffic. Do want to have disclaimers on this. You know, it's not for medical usage. We're not diagnosing a disease or anything like that, and body temperature can fluctuate. We do believe the accuracy of this device is very high, given how it works, as I'll go into. This was developed by us. We had some technology already on the marketplace with our InPad product here, which is the brains behind our smart vending product, which is very popular in overseas markets where there's a lot of facial recognition payment, mobile payment, that sort of thing. So when you go up to a vending machine, you're not necessarily using your credit card, you're using a mobile device, or even just standing in front of it and having your image recognized. We have over 15,000 of these tablets in the world today. We have sourced a very, very high quality infrared camera, and I'll go into why the camera is so critical for this application. We also have our InMetrix user interface software. This is Android based, and there's a full API available to write custom applications and make this work for you. So what's so great about the camera? This camera, again, very, very high quality. It's one of the industry leading high resolution cameras on the marketplace with a very high frame rate and the ability to detect precisely the right area of a thermal reading to take the temperature from. It can happen, it works within 2.5 to 5 feet. You don't have to line up very precisely and doesn't need any kind of special calibration. One advantage of our unit is when you deploy it, and this is a self-contained unit, it doesn't require any kind of IT integration or backhaul. It calibrates, configures on site automatically. You don't need a black body reference design. You don't need to do any kind of special IT configuration. So it's very easy and works quickly to set up and doesn't require any special skills from employees. A lot of the competing products require you to sort of sit there and align and stand still for up to 3 seconds to get the temperature reading. Ours does not do that, and I'll show that in real time here in a moment. It allows ours to just kind of get in the area of the device. It's actually pretty good. It knows where a head is, it knows where your forehead is, and it's gonna work. As of note, you can have a hat on, you can have glasses on, you can have a mask on, and it's gonna continue to work just fine. It doesn't have to have the whole face. So it works in 2 modes. This is the walk-by mode. So you're gonna see some of our marketing folks here just walk by.
Please proceed. Please proceed. Please proceed.
So as you can see, those 3 people walked by, and very quickly, it knows where the head is, it knows where the forehead is. You notice there's no aligning, there's no getting in front of the unit. It knows where to take the temperature, and it's getting a very accurate reading of plus minus 0.5 degrees Celsius, or excuse me, Fahrenheit, and able to take the temperature of the user. So this is a super accurate, high quality thermal image that's being generated by the device in red. Again, I'll play that.
Please proceed. Please proceed.
So very, very easy, does not take up a lot of time, does not take up a lot of space. Just sort of a no-brainer on how to use it. Just works right out of the box like that. You also have a one-on-one, one-by-one mode that's more traditional.
Please proceed.
Where the user just comes up to the unit, aligns with the image, and takes their temperature. It is real-time infrared image and reading. I'll show this video here. As soon as you get in front of it, it takes the temperature of the wearer, highly accurate, as I mentioned, at the right spot on the forehead. There's not a lot of adjustment required. You don't have to align yourself in the image or stand in a particular spot. It does feature customizable temperature thresholds, the ability to figure out for your organization what is the right temperature. And I'll go into some of the notifications, recording abilities that it features also.
Please wait for assistance.
And if you notice, it has, I'm not sure how well this comes through
Please wait for assistance.
on the Zoom webinar, but it does have an audible feedback to the user and surrounding employees as to the status of the temperature reading. So it's going to either say, please proceed or please wait when the temperature is read. This is powerful hardware. This is not an inexpensive or cheap device, that we came up with very quickly. This is an 8-core ARM Cortex processor with a 10.1-inch touchscreen and a high-definition camera. It's a 3D camera. It does feature Wi-Fi. We are certifying the unit right now with a couple-month time frame on all the major carriers for 4G LTE connectivity back-to-back office systems. So it'll be on Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, and AT&T very shortly. But today, the units that are shipping have Wi-Fi 802.11, ABNN that allows you to connect to another system. And I want to stress again, you don't have to connect it to something. It's going to work right out of the box, no IT configuration, self-calibrated. However, if you want to use the API, if you want to tie it into the operator mode, which I'll showcase here in a moment, and get reports back to the home office or to someone to say, okay, there's a temperature that's out of range, we want to investigate further, that is supported through Wi-Fi connectivity. This is a fanless design. It doesn't make much noise with a wide operating temperature range that will withstand most environments. It isn't going to be working outside in the rain or anything, but this can go into a cold facility, a hot facility, a warehouse, an office, a health club, etc. We have operations management that allows you to browse the records that are stored that let you know what the temperature readings were per person and get those reports. You're also able to cast the image that's occurring through Wi-Fi to another room or even to another facility, since you're going, getting an IP address and sending that out. So you could have someone not nearby at all seeing the monitoring of this. So it's also a security feature as well. So on the slides, we will be patching this with field upgradable with some facial recognition technology that will allow for access control and employee monitoring through that Android API. Again, notification via email is supported. We're going to have, or we have a cloud services app that is available to configure and monitor and manage the unit. As I mentioned several times now, the Android API. So function expansion, complex environments, integration with third-party building management or security systems is all supported. You don't have to do it out of the box. As I said, this is a plug-and-play unit that's going to work right out. And that leads me to plug-and-play out of the box, of course. This is an easily adjustable screen. It moves around left and right and up and down, so you can adjust it to various on-site scenarios. You're able to mount this several different ways, and as we get customer feedback, we're coming up with new mounts. I've got something that's a solution that's going into a sort of a transportation bus for senior citizens being transported from nursing homes to another nursing home. And that's going to be a mobile mount. Another thing to know that's not really in the presentation on this presentation, but it will work with a bright window. So if I was in my house here and I had a bright window behind me, it'll work in a dark room. We have videos demonstrating that and can, of course, show this with a demonstration live also. So as you might expect, lots of different applications, offices, retail, restaurants, health clubs, factories, warehouses. A lot of my utility customers returning to work and wanting to keep that safe into the meter shop, into the distribution shop, into where the work trucks come back, the bucket trucks come back. All of this is applicable to this unit and a good use case for it. If you just wanted something that's going to accurately take the temperature, know where the head is, can work with a mask, with eyeglasses, with a hat, this is going to do an outstanding job for you. That concludes my part on the on the temperature rating device, like I said, this is an industry-leading unit. We're very excited about this product. Please let me know if you have any questions on this one. I'm happy to do demos, Zoom meetings on this one, and showcase just what it can do. So turning the page, I'm going to talk a little bit about our industrial cellular routers and gateways for IoT. This is our sort of mainstream product that we make in large hundreds of thousand unit quantities all around the world. We have a full line of routers, modems, gateways, switches that are going to go into all sorts of scenarios. In my day-to-day, I'm working with renewable companies with solar, wind, water management. I'm working with industrial controls. I'm working with power utilities, water utilities, gas utilities that have all sorts of use cases for this, whether it's monitoring a solar inverter, providing connectivity to a building management system. These are ruggedized units that work in wide operating ranges in various conditions. Extremely reliable units. I did say a 3-year warranty, but we're known for our reliability with these. These are very solid. Advanced security. All of the protocols, standards, everything you would expect with this sort of device is there. The ability to have VPNs and certify on Azure, AWS, and other platforms. These are carrier certified. We work very closely with our carrier partners, including Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, and others. Bell Canada, for example, and also internationally. If you have customers coming outside of North America, we do a lot in Latin America, Europe, and Asia. Just to get brief highlight on these, I'm not going to go into a lot of details. We start the line with a low-cost, basic industrial LTE router. Again, economical unit, providing all the functionality you would need for many use cases. These are going to go up to Cat4 speeds. They do support the newer Cat M1 technology. These have Wi-Fi configurable as well as Ethernet ports from 1 to 5. Again, highly secure and reliable, a rugged design, easy remote management that comes with it through our InConnect or device manager platforms in the cloud that allow you to manage, configure, and monitor these devices remotely. This is a great way. We're doing a lot of business with 3G, 4G migration. As 3G is phased out by the major carriers, you need to replace a lot of devices out there. So this is a great way to do so at a low cost. For more advanced applications, we have the nRouter 900. This is a high-end industrial LTE router. The highest industrial grade dual SIM support, even more data security, supporting Python programming for custom scripts and applications on top of the unit. This has some significant amount of RAM and CPU power. These are certified on AWS platforms as well as Azure from Microsoft. The NDTU is very popular. We have over 1 million of these today around the world. This is a really basic unit and very reliable. It's just a cellular modem that connects via RS-232 or 45 serial ports. It does support all the industrial protocols you would need, such as IEC or Modbus RTU TCP compatibility. This is a Cat M1 device for low-cost data plans for applications that don't require super high speed. This isn't going to stream YouTube videos, but this is a great way to, for example, one of my clients is in street lighting controls and street lighting, and they use this in their street lighting boxes in the outdoors to get a signal back to operate the units remotely, manage and configure them. These are EMC level 3, protected for surges. These are ingress protection rated 30 and feature a wide temperature range. And again, easy to remotely manage like all of our devices. The in-gateway product is a very powerful edge computing device. This is something that allows you with a lot of CPU and horsepower to both route packets and traffic, but also to achieve a very reliable connection, run Python, supporting MQTT and other protocols, as well as all the industrial protocols such as Modbus and Profinet that you'd expect. I'm working with a large grid utility company out of France on something right now that's going to go into transformer monitoring solutions across the globe. And this is something where typically my customers will kind of know if they need this, and we'll have a lot of specifications around it. But again, this allows for a very reliable 3-year warranty device that's economical to go into these applications, that's going to be around for the long haul. A new product for us is an industrial vehicle gateway. These are becoming very popular as people look to manage their fleets and assets, provide secure connectivity, but also high-speed connectivity. The new Cat6 protocols in Cellular is supported here. That's going to provide very high-speed connectivity to a vehicle to run applications and push applications across a fleet span. This is very high-speed Wi-Fi and Ethernet, and allows for also edge computing, and it is programmable. And like all of our devices, easy to remote manage and configure. That's the conclusion of the overview on the networking products. What I want to do now is dive into really a sort of a specialized solution for my power utility customers. And this is a very popular device right now, and something we continue to work on with numerous pilots across the globe. These are overhead distribution line sensors. We also have an underground product. I don't have slides on that today, but we have an underground product forthcoming this year in just a few months that's going to tie into this same ecosystem. These operate currently on 10 kV to 35 kV lines. We are adding support for 46 kV and up to 69 kV over the next 12 months. What they do is they read the electrical field current values, the amps. They also read the E field, the harvesting voltage, and the temperature of the conductor. They feature a time clock with a zero sequence synthesis back to the analytics engine. They communicate, one goes on each phase to phase A, B, C. They communicate to either a data concentrator on the pole or one on the line. The line mounted concentrator is a new product for us. We're getting a lot of interest in. It will be available here in about 2 months. Historically, we've had the pole mounted concentrator for several years. The concentrator does 2 things. One, it's an edge processing device. It's going to run our fault and condition monitoring algorithm on it there on the edge. It doesn't require computing power in the data center. 2, it's a communications platform. So it's getting the data from the sensors. And by the way, there's up to 9 sensors that connect to each concentrator. It's getting that data back to the data center. Today, we use 4G LTE on a variety of carriers. We are adding LoRa. And newly available, which we're certifying on Landis & Gear and the Itron and Silver Spring networks, backhaul networks also, working with some larger customers on that. So through a variety of communication mechanisms, you can get the data securely back to the platform, but also to a system such as SCADA or ADMS or OMS through IEC internationally or DMP3 domestically. We support mobile apps with this unit, both on Android and iPhone. It also can do notifications and management through email and SMS. The platform, which I'll get into, is available on Amazon Web Services Cloud on the United States West region, or it's also available for on-premise installation. These line sensors are actually the largest deployment globally of any line sensor out there you may have heard of. And we have a lot of these out there. Over 120,000 of these are installed today. And we continue to see more pilots pop up in both North America, as you see, as well as Latin America and in Europe. We have, not all the pilot projects are public yet. Many of them, especially the ones I'm working on in North America, are private. We expect to expand this product out this year and next year. So the sensor, this is a disruptive device. It's a very, very good sensor. First of all, it's very low weight, less than 2 pounds. It clamps securely to the line on an energized line, easily installed with any standard utility hot stick. One thing to know about this sensor is it does have full functionality and uses power from the line as low as 1 ampere of line current, which is very, very competitive globally and leads globally from most competitors on this. It does have a low power mode below 1 amp of line current. If the power goes out, it does have a supercapacitor backup on it that's going to provide power to the sensor for up to 12 hours. It will then recharge once the power is restored. the concentrators that I mentioned, these here, work up to 40 hours, and all the data is queued and batched in case of a communications failure and gets that back to the home office. These are ingress protection 67 rated, a very wide operating range. We have a lot of pilots in the tropical regions in South America and Latin America and Central America where, in the morning it'll be very cold, and then by the end of the day it'll be very warm or extremely hot, with also a lot of moisture occurring. So these are designed to survive in all sorts of environments. The current 120,000 plus sensors are in a variety of conditions, both from urban city environments to very, very rural. It does work at 256 samples per cycle at a 12.8 kilohertz sampling rate, which means you're getting that current E-field harvesting voltage temperature readings back in a very granular fashion. And you're getting a lot of readings. The waveforms that we produce are highly accurate. You can drill down to less than a second of data very easily, as it's taking 256 samples a cycle. This is just really exciting. There's only a few companies, including us in the world, that have anything like this. It is an artificial intelligence, or I call it an algorithm, that runs on this unit. It comes with the product. What this does is it's constantly monitoring that data coming back from the sensors, and it's able to diagnose at a very, very high accuracy rate what the fault condition is and how it occurred, the sequence of events, and where it occurred. So it's going to tell you in real time and create events and workflow for this, and also pipe that data back to SCADA, ADMS, ODMS via DMP3 if it's a grounding fault, a short circuit fault, inrush current, lightning, a power restore, or a power outage event. This is a powerful database. We patented this both in the US and internationally. It's based on a waveform database of over 28 million waveform events. And we've proven this works. So it's to be able to detect even transient events like a short circuit fault that would be, for example, vegetation brushing against the line, and be able to tell you what's happening and prevent a catastrophic equipment failure or an outage. Our analytics software platform comes with this product, and again, it's will come, especially for a pilot situation, in the cloud securely, but can also be moved on to an on-premise software. This software provides both a panoramic view of all of your sensors and the readings in real time, the waveforms, the ability to look at the historical waveforms and do investigations. It has workflow built in for events. After the algorithm picks up an event or there's an outage, it's going to tell you, where it was, what happened, what type of fault it was, and allow you to look at all the details. We've had these independently verified by substation software and other software. It's very, very accurate. It does allow for reporting, both load analysis, trends, data flow, all sorts of different reporting, as well as a custom ability to form your own reports. All of the configuration management of this solution is done through the software. You can upgrade the firmware, adjust the sensitivity of the algorithm. You can bring things online, ping status, do everything you'd expect through the software remotely. The software, as I mentioned, is also available in an app form on iOS or Apple and Android. So you're able to, in the field or wherever you are, tablet, mobile, laptop, what have you, are able to get and manage and see this software. It does have roles-based notifications, so you're able to get alerts to your operations team that can be configurable, highly configurable, whether it's this line, this type of fault, only want to see this or that to this person, and that can be on screen, that can be in a text message, that can be done over email. Very easy to adjust. A lot of this is user-driven to configure. You add sensors, you want to change things. It can be done all very visually in the software. That software is great, but again, all 256 data points are available for integration via DMP3 with backend systems, which is a popular choice for many of our current customers. We do have the ability to get load analysis, power quality, and more from the product and see the historical data. And as I mentioned, easy installation. The newer version won't actually need an installation jig. Currently we use a jig to spring open the clip on it. It goes up with a standard utility hot stick attaching to the line. I've personally been there for US installations, and it's very, very easy. We can use a hot stick at one of them. You could just put it and clamp it to the energized line right there using the bucket truck. So super easy to install, very safe to install, and can be done on, without powering anything down or adjusting any equipment. That's the conclusion of the slides I had today. Again, we covered the InMetrix temperature reading kiosk that features, it's very advanced, features the walk-by mode. I'll showcase that again just to see us, because it really is a cool product. Allows right as you
Please
walk by.
proceed. Please proceed.
It is seeing where the head
Please
is.
proceed.
You're not even close to it. It sees where the head is. It knows what a face looks like because this is built on mobile payment and facial recognition technology. It's able to identify the correct spot with a thermal image and get the correct temperature plus minus 0.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the one-on-one mode where you step in front of the unit. And
Please proceed.
We have these working in our office. We're available for demos. I can do Zoom meetings, anything we can to get to better inform you all of how this all works. We then covered the networking solutions. This is our historical product we've had for a long time, but we're still adding to it. Vehicle gateway is new, industrial IoT modem, and our reliable line of industrial routers, modems, and gateways. And then I went over the line sensor solution, which I work on a lot in my role here at the company. I'm happy to answer any questions on Q&A, and here's my contact information. So the question here, it says, how do you measure voltage and at what accuracy? So we measure the E field and derive a harvesting voltage. It's on the specification sheet. I don't have that available to me at this moment, but I could get you that information if you'd like to send me an email. Happy to discuss the exact accuracy of that. We don't include a onboard voltage sensor, as that does add a good deal of cost to the unit. Are there any other questions today? I think that's all the Q&A I have in my queue here. Well, if not, I'm going to stop the screen share and go ahead and conclude the webinar today. I do appreciate you joining today's webinar. Hoping to hear from some of you soon. If there's anything I could do to assist you further, please let me know, and have a good day.